The following episode depicts acts of violence and describes in detail reported speculation and alleged whereabouts of a missing person and unproven reports of actions taken by family members, friends, and other relations. Listener discretion is advised. It's been nearly 14 years since 36-year-old Patricia Santos was last seen. Patricia was a recovering drug addict. She had been clean and sober for 2 years and employed at a women's recovery program in Worcester when she went missing. She was last seen on May 20th, 2009. Coworkers reported her missing after she failed to show up for work for 2 straight days. On May 23rd, 2009, Patricia's ex-boyfriend was arrested after trying to flee from police in Patricia's 2000 Ford Mustang.
Unsolved Worcester is brought to you by the following sponsors. Follow the crowd through the doors of Donut Homies and say hi to Haley Noel, the donut queen of Worcester's Canal District. This month, the specialty donut shop features special flavors like birthday cake and salted caramel cheesecake. Donut Homies is open inside the Worcester Public Market at 160 Green Street every Wednesday through Sunday at 11 a.m. Online ordering with delivery and pickup options is available at donuthomies.com. Follow Donut Homies on Facebook and Instagram for monthly menu drops, specials, and more. Donut Homies, everything sweeter with the homies.
Welcome to Unsolved Worcester. I'm your host, Dan Yeager. In today's episode, we share the unsolved missing person case of Patricia Santos, one of 10 unsolved missing person cases we will share this season on Unsolved Worcester. Patricia was reported missing on May 22, 2009. The same day a restraining order against her ex-boyfriend was set to expire. Unsolved Worcester will take a deep dive every Tuesday and Thursday into the unsolved murders and missing persons cases under investigation by the Worcester Police Department's Detective Unit. We'll be looking to the past, to missing person cases that date as far back as the early 1970s and 80s. The important question this season is, where are they? The approach to Unsolved Worcester is this. Shine a light on each of these cases. Put a life behind each missing person's name. Provide a timeline of events and important details. And ask questions that still need to be answered. Our goal is to remind residents of the Worcester area, both past and present, that there are dozens of unsolved homicides and missing person cases that need resolution. We hope we could be the spark needed to solve a case. Patricia Santos went missing on May 20th, 2009. She is white and Hispanic. She's 4 feet 11 inches tall, weighing around 125 pounds. Has brown hair and brown eyes. Has several scars on her arms and legs, and she has a tattoo on her left breast with the name Eddie. Patricia went by the nickname Chitty. According to the National Missing and Unidentified Person System, Patricia stayed at a friend's house on the night of May 18th, 2009. She left the friend's house the next morning on May 19th and went back to her apartment on Fruit Street to get ready for work. Fruit Street is off of Highland Street and runs parallel to Seaver Street. She never showed up for work that day and didn't show up for work again the next day. Patricia worked at Miranda's House, a recovery program for women run by Community Health Link on Jakes Avenue. Patricia had her own problems with drug use, but she had been sober for 2 years, and at the time of her disappearance, both her coworkers at Miranda's House and police believed she hadn't relapsed. She was last seen by neighbors getting into her 2000 Ford Mustang early in the morning on May 20th. She was with her ex-boyfriend, Albert Carrabba. Witnesses say Carrabba pedaled up to Patricia on his bicycle before hopping in their car. They drove away, but then quickly pulled over on a nearby street. Inside the Mustang, on a side street near Seaver Street and Highland Street, his last known whereabouts of Patricia Santos. 2 days later, Patricia's new boyfriend saw Carrabba driving Patricia's Mustang and called the police. Coming up, Carrabba ends up in custody following a wild police chase on Pleasant Street. On May 11th, 2009, Patricia Santos had been granted a restraining order against her ex-boyfriend Albert Carrabba for alleged abuse prevention. The restraining order was set to expire on May 22nd, 3 days after Patricia went missing. According to the Telegram and Gazette, on May 14th, 2009, Carrabba was notified he would no longer be the payee of Patricia's supplemental Social Security income account. On May 22nd, the day Patricia's restraining order against Carrabba expired, Patricia's new boyfriend reported to police he had seen Carrabba driving her 2000 Ford Mustang. The next day, police caught up with Carrabba. On May 23, 2009, police saw Carrabba driving the car and tried to pull the vehicle over. Carrabba sped away through Tatnick Square and up Pleasant Street, going over 100 miles per hour. A state police helicopter even followed Carrabba from above as he sped toward Airport Hill. He was headed toward the Paxton line when he went through a red light and struck another vehicle. Carrabba got out of the car and fled the scene on foot. He ran into a nearby wooded area near Briarcliff Road. According to a report, Carrabba even called for a cab. When the red cab showed up, he got in, but quickly got out and ran back into the woods. Calls started coming in to police from Paxton residents, reporting that Carrabba was walking through their backyards. A few hours later, though, police found Carrabba walking down Mower Street in Worcester and arrested him on outstanding warrants and motor vehicle charges from the police chase. When questioned by police about Patricia's whereabouts, Carrabba told them a story that contradicted what witnesses on Fruit Street told police. Carrabba alleged Patricia pulled her car over on Pleasant Street to speak with him around 9:45 a.m. on May 20th. Carrabba said Patricia told him that she had relapsed and was moving to Florida. He also said she told him he could have her Mustang. Police called Patricia's family in Florida, and they told police they hadn't seen her and didn't know of any plans of hers to move down there. When police arrested Carrabba on May 23rd, they found blankets in the car and quickly determined Carrabba had been living in the car. Carrabba's last known address was on Mason Street, but he was believed to be homeless at the time. They also found a brand new shovel in the car, but it hadn't been used. According to reports, the Mustang wasn't the only vehicle Carrabba took from Patricia. In early May, he also took her Chrysler Sebring. Coming up, things get even more odd as Patricia's disappearance takes another weird turn. On May 27th, 2009, just days after Patricia Santos' ex-boyfriend Albert Carrabba was arrested by police after crashing Patricia's Ford Mustang and fleeing the scene, police officers seized 2 computers, an iPod, 2 cameras, and multiple memory cards from the home of Community HealthLink CEO and President Deborah Ekstrom. Patricia worked at a women's recovery home on Jakes Avenue in Worcester run by Community HealthLink when she went missing. According to reports, Albert Carrabba was friends with Ekstrom's husband, James May. On Friday, May 22nd, 3 days after Patricia went missing, and the day Patricia's restraining order against Carrabba for alleged abuse was set to expire, Carrabba went to Ekstrom and May's home on William Street and asked May to type a letter for him. May allegedly refused to type the letter, but allowed Carrabba to use his laptop. The letter, according to a report, was lengthy and allegedly contained Carrabba's statement that he wished to be in a long-term relationship with Patricia. Police told the Telegram and Gazette that Carrabba's request of May seemed suspicious, and suspicions surrounding Carrabba continue to grow. Following his arrest on May 23rd, Carrabba was also charged with stealing things from Patricia's apartment on Fruit Street and charged with stealing her other car, the Chrysler Sebring. They traced Carrabba's activities back to a residence in nearby Sutton, Massachusetts. In September 2009, Carrabba appeared in Central District Court. He was found guilty on multiple charges, including 2 counts of violating an abuse prevention order, including Patricia's restraining order against him, breaking and entering with intent to commit a misdemeanor, and driving negligently, property damage, and leaving the scene of an accident. He was sentenced to 4 concurrent terms of 6 months in the Worcester County House of Correction. In the days and weeks following Patricia Santos' disappearance, police checked with drug rehabilitation facilities, searched known drug areas in Worcester, and spoke with some of Patricia's former contacts. No one had seen or heard from her. Patricia's bank account hadn't been used since she disappeared, and activity on her cell phone stopped on May 20th, the day she vanished. In August 2009, Worcester police described her disappearance as highly suspicious and publicly stated that she may have met with foul play. 14 years later, Patricia is still missing. Patricia Santos is listed in the National Missing and Unidentified Persons System. If she is alive today, she would be 50 years old. Thank you for listening. I'm Dan Yeager. If you enjoyed listening to this episode, please consider clicking the like button for us. And if you subscribe, the next episodes will show up in your feed. Click the bell on the right and select all, and you'll get a notification of when the next episode is ready. If you have any thoughts you'd like to share, please leave them in the comments below. We do read them all and respond to as many as we can. Anyone with information about what happened to Patricia Santos are asked to contact the Worcester Police Detective Bureau at 508-799-8651 or send an anonymous text to 274-637. Write TIPWPD plus your message or send an anonymous web-based message at worcesterma.gov/police. Come back on Tuesday as Season 3 of Unsolved Worcester continues with the disappearance of 37-year-old Donald Wallace, who went missing in April of 1991. Donald was schizophrenic. He was last seen standing at the corner of May Street and Park Avenue by his mother, who was driving by in her car. Be sure to visit Unsolved Worcester on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Unsolved Worcester. Listen to all episodes for free at unsolvedworcester.com and on podcast streaming platforms including Spotify, Apple, Audible, and more. Special thanks to the Worcester Public Library, the Worcester Police Department, the City of Worcester, Ron Scott at New England Sky Picks, and our sponsors for making this possible. Information on the disappearance of Patricia Santos was gathered from multiple resources, including the Telegram and Gazette, the Charlie Project, and more. The Unsolved Worcester podcast music is provided by Tom LaBelzik of the Worcester Jazz Collective. This episode of Unsolved Worcester is written and produced by Pat Sargent. Drone footage provided by New England Sky Picks. Videography and editing by Colin Turner. Victim images are courtesy of the Worcester Police Department. Sponsorship information announcer Chandler Walsh. Be sure to check out the video for this episode with exclusive aerial views and more on our Unsolved Worcester YouTube page. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Don't miss another episode. Click the notification button to get alerts when new episodes of Unsolved Worcester drop. This program is supported in part by a grant from the Worcester Arts Council and the National Endowment for the Arts. To find out more about how National Endowment for the Arts grants impact individuals and communities, visit www.arts.gov.